Welcome back to the Coding Problem series. Today, we are tackling a classic dynamic programming problem, Partition Equal Subset Sum. This is a fundamental problem that helps build intuition for the knapsack pattern. Let's start by understanding the goal. You are given an array of positive integers. The task is to determine if this array can be split into two separate subsets, such that the sum of the elements in both subsets is exactly the same. For example, if we have the numbers 1, 5, 11, and 5, we can group 1, 5, and 5 together to get 11, which matches the remaining element 11. Since both sums are equal, we return true. Before jumping into algorithms, let's make a simple mathematical observation. If we want to split the array into two equal parts, the total sum of the array must be perfectly divisible by 2. If the total sum is odd, it is impossible to split it equally, so we can immediately return false. If the sum is even, we have a chance, and our target for each subset becomes exactly half of the total sum. So, the problem simplifies significantly. We don't need to find two subsets explicitly. We just need to find one subset whose sum equals the total sum divided by 2. If we find that, the remaining elements will automatically form the second subset with the same sum. This reduction transforms our problem into the classic subset sum problem. How do we solve this? We can use a recursive approach. For every single element in the array, we have a choice to make. We can either include the element in our current subset, which reduces our remaining target sum, or we can exclude the element, keeping the target sum the same and moving to the next element. We explore all possibilities to see if any combination reaches a target of 0. However, pure recursion is inefficient. As you can see in the code structure, the function state depends on the index we are considering and the current target sum. In the recursion tree, we will encounter the same state multiple times. Because of these overlapping subproblems, we should store the results of our computations. This technique is called memoization. Let's formalize this with dynamic programming. We will define a 2D table. Let's call it dp. The cell at row I and column j will store a Boolean value. It answers the question, is it possible to achieve a sum of j considering only the first I items? Here, I ranges from 0 to the number of items, and j ranges from 0 to our target sum. To fill this table, we use the logic derived from our recursion. For any cell, the value is true if either of two conditions is met. First, if we could already achieve the sum without the current item, we copy the value from the row above. Second, if we decide to include the current item, we look back in the previous row at the column equal to the current target minus the item's value. Let's visualize the dp table. The first column corresponds to a sum of 0, which is always true because we can simply choose an empty set. As we iterate through the items, we carry forward the true values from the row above. When we include an item, like the number 2, we can form new sums. For instance, sum 2 becomes possible because sum 0 was possible. If you look closely, to calculate the current row, we only ever look at the immediately previous row. We never need data from 2 or 3 rows back. This allows us to optimize our space. Instead of a 2D matrix, we can use a single 1D array. We just need to be careful to iterate backwards when updating the array to ensure we use values from the previous state. Finally, let's look at the efficiency. The time complexity is big O of n times t, where n is the number of elements and t is the target sum. This is much better than the exponential time of the brute force approach. The space complexity is big O of t if we use the 1D array optimization, making it very memory efficient for reasonable target sums. To wrap up, remember the steps. First, check if the total sum is even. Second, define your target as half the total sum. Third, use dynamic programming to check if any subset sums to that target. You can start with a 2D table approach to understand the logic, and then optimize it to a 1D array for production code.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.